All right, YouTube viewers, Coach Andy. I'm here with Nick Lentz, who's a UFC fighter, D1 wrestler, pretty successful. How many? He's got a lot of submission victories in mixed martial arts, including the UFC. I'm also here with Jacob Christmas Volkmann, who's also a UFC fighter, has a number of submission victories in mixed martial arts, and he's also a three-time All-American in college level wrestling. So I guess we're just going to talk a little bit today about what it takes to win, what it takes to be successful with grappling for martial arts and just grappling in general. So Nick, what are like the top three things that you would give to someone, like advice that you would give to someone to win and be successful in sort of grappling arts?
I guess the first thing that I would do is, number one, you got to find a good place to train. So if you don't have good training partners or you don't have people that can teach you the basics of grappling, then you're not really going to get anywhere. So find a good coach, find a buddy or something that knows some martial arts and stuff. You can always move up, but find someone that knows a lot more than you do and have them teach you, and then develop the basics. Develop all the basics. That's the most important thing. Develop the core skills, your arm bars, your guillotines, and all that stuff. Once you get past that, start working on your body, like physically. Are you strong enough? Are you fast enough? So work with your running, your weights, however you want to get stronger and faster. And then the last part is, once you've done all that, turn it into your own stuff. Mm-hmm. So once you have the basics, you've been training for maybe a couple years or whatever you're doing, take all the basics and make them your own. You know what I mean? Like, don't just do an armbar like everyone else. Once you actually learn how to do an armbar, make it your own. Yeah. But you have to really have like that, brown belt, black belt level before you start doing that.
Okay. What would you say, Mr. Volkmann?
Well, you hit pretty much everything there. The only thing I'd add is start early. You gotta start now. Don't just wait. You gotta start when you're young, because that's when you develop the most skills. When you're young, you gotta start when you're. Well, I started wrestling when I was 4 years old. Mm-hmm. So the younger you start, the more your skills will develop.
Yeah, so don't wait. So even if you're in your 20s or whatever, you can still start now. It's better than starting in your 40s or 50s.
Yeah, it's harder to develop those skills when you're older. That's for sure. But other than that, he hit the nail on the head there with the three main ones. Okay,
and then another question that's out there in the world is like the role of physical training. Like how much extracurricular physical conditioning do you need to do, and also like how does that play in with the mental aspect too? How much conditioning do you have in your training? How much do you recommend? That type of thing.
Well, the first thing you got to do, like when we're talking about like mentally, is you need to work past all like your insecurities, the fear of getting tired, right? Mm-hmm. And then once you do that, you can throw that kind of training out the window, I think. So once you've crossed the line where you've pushed yourself past the fear of being tired, then that kind of training, and then you can just work on being faster, being stronger, being in a good condition, and all that. I think people hold on to that step too long, mm-hmm. And then so that's my only advice there. Really physical conditioning. Just take what you're not naturally good at and fix it. Could be my suggestion.
I wanted to add a little to that. He was right there, but you got to have a good coach, just like you said in the first question. You got to have a good coach, a good gym, someone that's going to push you. That's how you get, when you're tired, you want to quit, you get a coach to tell you not to quit, and keep pushing past that. And that's, both of us who went to the University of Minnesota, and that's where I think, for me at least, that's where I got the most improvement. That's where I learned to push myself the most.
Awesome. Yeah, totally agree. You can only push yourself so far. And then when someone is there to just push you a little farther, then that's going to help you, break that fear of being tired.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because you're not going to be able to push yourself beyond the fear of being tired unless someone's telling you can do more.
Right.
There's more you can do.
Now, I've been with both you guys in the corner, and you have great like grace under pressure, and that's a skill I think that you developed over years and years of competition, but. I think people are really interested, like, what is it, how do you develop the skill, really, of having, on the day of your competition, or when you're about to do some performance-related activity, what kind of advice can you give to people about the skill of grace under pressure, as it were?
This is like a Volkmann.
Yeah.
Well, this is the easy one. You got to do live. You got to go out there and compete in competitions. Like I did grappling tournaments before I started fighting. I've been wrestling almost my whole life. I started at 4 years old. The more competitions you go through, the easier it is to deal with the pressure. And the more high level competitions, obviously, the easier it will be when you get in the UFC.
Okay.
So that's pretty easy.
Yeah, you know, I would agree to a certain extent. You know, the only difference is I think as you compete, you know, just keep at it. Like I had extreme nervousness when wrestling, and that followed me for a very long time, all the way up to college. And then once I switched over to fighting, for some reason, whether I had prepared wrestling or whatever, that insecurity went away. So yeah, just keep going, just keep pushing, and once you get past it, it seems like a big deal. You're always kind of nervous, but then once you get past it, you look back and you're like, what was I worried about?
All right, so there you have it. Take that information for what it's worth and put it into your practice. Nick, you got a fight coming up here in January.
Yep. January 19th
in Brazil. In Brazil. So
yeah, January 19th.
Tune in, or if you're in Brazil, go check it out. It's UFC. What is it? UFC.
Jeez, I don't even
on
know.
Fox. You can look it up, and I'm sure you'll see Volkmann here.
I'm sporting my Movember, supporting men's health and prostate. Check your prostates.
So
sorry, females, you don't have one.
There you go. Success and winning in grappling.
Good.